Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. I'm literally recording Tomb of the Giants, Artura's DLC, and now Four Great Kings in the end of the game, all in the same day, one after the other, but you won't be seeing these uploads until afterwards. I'm also editing all of this in the same day, doing all this because Guardian Games. If you want a major region, Destiny 2 Guardian Games is really the reason why I'm kind of really pushing the series out. So I can work on some other stuff. I need a break from Souls for a while. I just do. It's kind of hard doing all of this, and I'm starting to get lore and stuff a little bit mixed up. So, but, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous episode, but first off, there's not really a bonfire here. There is one behind an illusionary wall, but we have to, do something else first. But you do need Transient Curse in order to hit ghosts. That is something of note. But, while I go through this area and fucking suffer, I will let Lormy kind of explain what's happening. Alright, so I'm here to explain kind of what's happening. So, essentially, Anor Londo used to be a city of humans. Humans were essentially segregated from the rest of Gwyn and his children. And first off, side note, you need Transient Curse to kill ghosts. But essentially, humans were essentially kind of suppressed by Gwyn, because Gwyn was afraid of their dark soul. The soul of the Furgative Pygmy. But among them were the four kings. And these four kings started listening to a darker side of them. I would surmise from a different primordial serpent. There's two of them. There's one that once you go on the path to become the next Lord of Cinder, which is Frampt, and then there's another one that wants you to go on the path of the dark, to embrace the dark soul, to like really push humans. But for us and our cause, we're going to be going with obviously Frampt's way of thinking. But the Four Great Kings started to listen to this other serpent, and eventually they succumbed to their dark power, essentially. But before that happened, before they succumbed to the Abyss, Lord Gwyn had given part of the Four Kings part of their soul as part of a false trust. Because while he was shaking their hands and acting all nicey-nicey with them, he set up the dam to flood their city, and I would argue he put those drakes there to keep him even further from Anor Londo. This is also why he set up Sen's Fortress and the Iron Golem and the Serpents and everything. So and even the Bell Gargoyles. He set those there up to separate himself from the humans as much as he could. But, unfortunately, the Four Great Kings would eventually give over to the Abyss, and basically, Lord Gwyn felt like he had no choice, and flooded all of Anor Londo. So all of the ghosts and the Dark Wraiths were soldiers were human soldiers, but all of the ghosts and most of the creatures outside of the Ring Wraiths, all of them were once citizens of the city. And that is unfortunately the downfall of Anor Londo. They essentially got more power than Gwyn wanted, so he chose to dispose of them. Anyways, now that we're here at the boss, I'm gonna pass you over to Gameplay Me. I just realized we have a little bit of an issue. We can't move well without Havel's ring, but you have to equip Artorias' ring. So, that's what we're going to do. Actually, movement is sort of. I'm not gonna worry about our movement as much. It's slow, but yeah, we are at the boss. So, we're gonna make our way down. Normally you can't, but we're gonna make our way slowly down to the four great kings. I thought you had to unlock the water level twice, but maybe I was wrong? Because this stairway will end at some point? Shadow Realm? This is a little bit scary. But this is a damage check. We got grabbed. We might be dead here. We got grabbed again? It's hard to tell what their fucking grab attack even is. We gotta just tank through all the damage. There's another king. We're just trading blows here. We just gotta wait for another one up here. Is this a little bit scary? I gotta be honest. Oh, there it is. I see him. But we're fine. We're fine. Beautiful. By the way, there is a we have to find a bonfire, but I don't see one. Oh, there it is. So, fun fact: there is actually another boss. There's technically 5 Great Kings there, but the 5th one is hidden under the map. And Primordial Serpent. Okay. And do y'all remember, so for Destiny players, if you remember back when Deepstone Crypt first released, there was a Fallen, so Atrax, the first boss, Atrax's health bar was tied to a captain that was elsewhere on the map. That's how 4 Great Kings work. Also, we can't level up, we don't have enough, but Primordial Serpent should be here. But he's not. I do not see him. So, oh, it's because we already answered Framped. Both Primordial Serpents are kind of irrelevant. But hopefully I explained the lore of the 4 Great Kings as well previously, because we are officially at the end of the game. We are officially at the end. Just nowhere close enough to level up. Havel's Ring, which we do need, and I would like the Mask of the Child to be equipped. We won't need the bow anymore. We also don't need this. I would like some papers. That sounds really bad out of context. If you know, you know, children. Don't worry about what I just said. only have one I have one Titanite chunk. You know what? It's time. I did not think it was gonna be this quick. I don't know how I keep mismanaging it, but it seems like the last episodes that I do are, very short. Offer souls to the Lord Vessel. And of course, we're going with the ending here. That makes the most sense to me. I'm gonna open that door for the first flame. Alright, it's time. Frant brought us down here. This is a lot of white. By the way, these knights can attack you. These were some of the knights that Lord Gwyn... Grand Finals? Oh, wow. This looks eerily similar to Slave Knight Gale's arena. Alright, while I go through this area, I'll let Lorme explain as much of this as I can. Alright, this is where I'm going to make a... Here's the only assumption that I'm going to make. I think this was the place that the flame was first discovered, and there's so much ash here because they slayed all the dragons here. And kind of like the spines that we see sticking up out of the ground, I think those were dragon spines. I think we are where everything sort of all started in Dark Souls 1. I don't know if it's canon or not, but I do believe that we are where everything started. They erected a city, they fought the dragons, and they've succeeded, and the dragons are now basically ash and bones. But time for Gwyn, the man of the hour. Well, the hollow of the hour. So Lord Gwyn, after he discovered lightning, you know, and took down all the dragons, separated the humans, he had some kids, you know, Guinevere and everything. He set up the illusion of Anor Londo still being golden. He tried his best to prop up a grand image that everything was fine, even though it just simply isn't. He wanted to stay on top. He wanted to be top dog for as long as possible, suppress the humans in their dark soul. And there were knights, the ring raids that we saw in Anor Londo, they were knights that helped out Lord Gwyn. But they were never ever given any credit after the Age of Dragons. The only credit was given to his Silver Knights, not, you know, the humans that had helped him get to his position of power. Instead, he suppressed them because he feared their dark soul. Now, one of the theories is, especially based on how Gwyn looks and everything, and how some other NPCs look after, you know, hollowing has happened, it's kind of believed that Hollow is, well, at least I kind of believe that Hollow is the original state. Like, all beings were Hollows at one point, and when the flame happened, Hollows were turned into humans, and as the flame is dying out, we are turning to our original self. Well, our original selves, and the power of humans is essentially immortality, which is what Seath tried to replicate with his crystal, but his was more so from the point of dragons. And Lord Gwyn, Witch of Izalith, and at least those two tried even more to replicate. But Gwyn would end up fragmenting his soul before... Well, he fragmented his soul between the other people that helped him, the Gravelord Nito, Witch of Izalith, Seath the Scaleless, and Four Great Kings, before going into Rekindle the Flame and keep that fire burning. But our quest is either to extinguish that flame, or in killing him, we don't let it die out and we keep the fire going. Which is what Lord Gwyn would have wanted for us to be next Lord of Cinder. However, we are going with that because his true demise won't exactly happen until Dark Souls 3, where we won't need him anymore. But we will be killing him here, and there is nothing he can say or do about it except body us. But that's kind of it for Dark Souls lore. You generally know the story now. And since you generally know the story now, you'll be going into gameplay me and you'll be hearing the boss and everything. Alright, in honor of Solaire, we are going to be wearing his armor. It's time to traverse and fight Gwyn. Parried him right off the bat. Oh, he grabbed! Oh my god! Oh my god, he does so much damage. We're dead! Okay, yeah, we're not joking. Okay. Alright. It is time. Alright, Gwyn. God damn! So much fucking damage! We can't heal! I have to... There we are! Fucking parried his ass! Sit down, big fella! There we are, another parry. Okay. There we are, another parry. Okay, we're good. There we are, and he is dead now. Now we have two options. I'm not sure how you're... Oh, maybe this way? Oh, these aren't items. They're just fire things. So we have two options. Either you can leave the bonfire and bring on the Age of Dark, but eventually somebody will come along and relight the flame, regardless of what you do, because Dark Souls 3 has to happen. But we're going to do what I believe happens canonically and makes the most sense, and we are going to link the fire. And there you are. And this is where you can start New Game Plus or go fight other bosses and whatnot. But that is the end of Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1, that's the end. I can't believe that's the end. But again, I don't know why, but the last part is short. It wasn't the case for Bloodborne. For Bloodborne, by the time I recorded the last episode, there was so much lore to the end of the game that I couldn't really stop, and I had to do lore separately. But wow, thanks for tuning in for the series. I appreciate all of y'all that have watched. For those of you that have watched the entire series, I really appreciate it. Every single episode, I appreciate y'all. Even those of y'all that are tuning into the last episode of the series, um, unlike most series that I do, I don't necessarily have a favorite episode for this one. So for Bloodborne, my favorite one was the DLC. That was my favorite episode because I just love the DLC. Particular the one where we fight Lady Maria. That one was my favorite because I had to drop my Kermit the Frog voice here, and I had to drop that and because I had to focus. For Elden Ring, it was definitely the boss rush video. I know the first half of it, there's not really that many bosses, but it really ramps up at the end. And it was really fun to experience Fortis Axe for the first time, beating Placiduceax, even though I basically carried Torchic through the entire experience. It was okay. But for this series, I don't necessarily have a favorite. If I were to pick one, I might say the Demon Ruins episode, possibly. But it's kind of hard because at the beginning, I had so many issues that I can't say those first few episodes. And these last few episodes, I've just been kind of... Also, can I take a seat here? No. So I can sit by the fire? Okay, I guess I can. But, to let y'all know some of the plans for the channel here, as we end this series... Upon reset next Tuesday, later on that week, I'll be releasing Guardian Games videos, at least probably one, guiding people, guiding to the quest or whatever, and making sure everybody knows that Titans are the best. For now, don't expect any more Soulsborne stuff for quite a while, because I need to take a break for the Elden Ring DLC for my sake. And Dark Souls 3 is gonna it's a long game, and I need a lot of time at my disposal, and that's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for now. Especially since I'm a Destiny 2 player, like my main game is Destiny 2, so I have 3 months to get ready for Final Shape in that raid and Into the Light and that sort of stuff. So 2 series you can expect. Number 1. I will be releasing a video for new lights and beginners for Titan, Warlock, and Hunter. All 3 characters are going to take me some time, so just give that to me please, but I will be releasing videos for new lights. Just to help y'all out, and because I know sometimes things can be confusing, and if Bungie's not going to do it, I'll step up to the plate. Other than that, for your more veteran players, I will be releasing a new series going through the Witch Queen campaign using raid exotics. I'll probably title it "Making Raid Exotics Good." The irony of it is it's gonna have every single raid exotic, and some conditional finality is gonna be really hard to work with because it's a PvP exotic. It's not for PvP. I mean, for PvE. No one uses it in PvE. But I'll be using every single raid exotic. That's going to be the joke of it and the irony. Some are going to be more broken, but they need very specific builds. But yeah, that's the plan for now. Anyways, that is all. Thanks. I appreciate all of y'all, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.